All right, ladies and gentlemen, welcome. It's good to be back. Welcome to another home game for the Bears. 1 week they went away, but here we are back at Roger Perry Field as the Bears, they are going one-on-one against the Station Camp Bisons. I'm here with...
Hey guys, it's Coach Height.
And Coach Height, I want to know how you been feeling. My main question for you is you haven't been here for the past couple weeks, so I want to know your opinion. How do you feel that? How do you feel that the Bears have been doing the past couple games?
Well, they've
overall?
had a few. I mean, they've had a few games that have definitely been nail biters, and one last week that wasn't quite so much. One of the things you've got to take into account as common opponents tonight is they're meeting another high-powered offense in Station Camp. So the common opponents, I mean, Gallatin beat us. They beat Gallatin. They lost to White County. We beat White County. The tail of the tape is going to be on the offensive side, as both of these are high-scoring offenses. We average 35.4 a game. They average 32.1. They don't show up and score offense a lot in the first half. They show up and score a lot of offense in the second half. So it's going to be a very tight game as far as that is concerned.
All right, so Golden Bears will receive first, and Cisse will run it first. And here he goes through some defenders and brought back at about the 34-yard line.
So Mount Juliet won the toss and elected to receive instead of defer. So they wanted to go ahead, and Coach Carver and Coach Perry wanted to go ahead and get out on offense first. That's important when you're playing an up-tempo team, that you're out and you kind of get your momentum, get settled in early.
And, Coach, I've noticed it feels like after that Gallatin game, that first loss, their offense has been so different.
Well, the offense in the Gallatin game was there as well. We just made a lot of mental mistakes, a lot of penalties. Had 3 touchdowns called back, at least 2 that were dropped as far as passes. So,
first play here on the sideline and brought back. That's a good first stop there by Station Camp. That was Walter Bowers with the catch. All right. So Bears, 2nd and 8 here. Handoff to guess who else? That's Dearius Morton, who he has been something else. Man, against White County, he was the offense that game, and he's just been amazing this season. And I just wish Max Preps would post his stats, because I bet they'd be insane. Here we go. Travers and Morton in the backfield. We've been saying that all season. Single receiver on the left side. Travers is going to throw. That's high, and that's almost picked by number 29 for Station Camp, Parter Brinkerhoff, if I'm saying that last name right. Do not sue me if I'm saying it wrong. I'm just trying my best.
B.J. Alexander. B.J. Alexander on that one.
Oh, man. I blame Max Preps for that one. But a quick 3 and out there from the Bears, and now Station Camp will go here. And as Coach, as you were saying, their offense is really good. But, he dropped it! And Mount Juliet clearly recovers it on.
The question is going to be whether or not he muffed it by touching it. They've called a sideline warning on us. They say they did not touch it, so it'll be Station Camp's ball. 1st and 10 for their first offensive possession. Again, you're going to see a very similar offense to what we run. They like to come out and get moving and stay moving.
Now, so I would say that both of these teams are just, and you can agree with their coaches, both of these teams are teams that really want to push the tempo from the start.
Well, I mean, they're both 4-1 for a reason, so.
Right, here we go. The handoff to number 1, I believe, and he is brought way back by Kaysen Walls. Unbelievable there. Great play.
Back quickly to the line. Single receiver to the far side. They're basically running a I set with a broken backfield. They've got double tight on both sides. Give, pull back out by the quarterback.
All right. And wait a second. I think the ball might have came out.
Yes.
Wow, and the Golden Bears did recover.
Dickens with the fumble. Little bit of a mesh relationship problem there. So this gives MJ its second possession so quickly after the first one stalled out with the overthrow. So you see quickly to the line. You notice Station Camp's already set up for the defense because they know that we're going tempo. Twins to the far side, wing to the near. Travers with the give.
Morton gets through. Man, he is strong. Unbelievable athlete. Gets a gain of about 3 there, and he gets up slowly.
Irby gets up slowly. Set will at least have twins to the far side. Single, double, twins both sides.
Travers, hands off. That is Morton again. And that's another little gain, but, you know, those gains of 3-4 yards, they may not seem like much, but they really are a lot.
Well, one of the things that really is Coach Carver and Coach Perry's mentality is that they want to run the ball. In a running team, you just want to try to get 4 yards at a carry, and every time you get 4, you'll move it on the third. So, single receiver to the far, twins to the near. Wing in motion, comes to the near side. Travers gives. They were waiting for Morton.
Oh, man.
So that's going to bring up.
Oh, man.
So it's going to bring up 4th and long, 4th and 8 on about the 25-yard line. Kicking tee is out. So Echeverria will come in for the attempt.
As we know, Daniel Echeverria had that epic game-winning field goal against Dwight County.
That is a live ball. That is a live ball.
And, oh, wow. And number 4 picks it up.
And he has now dropped it, and they have fumbled it forward.
Unbelievable. And that's going to be a touchdown for Station Camp.
Yes, it is.
Wow. I don't think I've ever seen that before in a game of football.
The only question that I would have on that play is the forward fumble. He fumbled it and it went forward. They recovered it and kept moving. You're not supposed to be able to fumble forward, but they're going to allow that to go. They have one that's limping pretty good, but he is still out there. Flag on the play on our sideline. It would appear that they're going to pop us for a sideline. We received a sideline warning earlier, so this one will stick. It's back here on the 40-yard line, unless they're going to call a hold, which I don't foresee them doing.
And so it looks like that Shanuda wasn't able to hold the ball quick enough.
Well, there's a lot of wind tonight. I mean, it's a cooler evening, so there's a lot of things that come into play with it. So it's got to be a good snap. It's got to be handled cleanly. But in situations like that, once he puts foot to the ball becomes live. So you're best sometimes to just take the loss of yards and not attempt it. Letting them sort this out real quick. We have one over talking to Coach Alexander for Station Camp to see what he wants to do here. Let's see what the call is from the White Hat. So they have called unsportsmanlike conduct against the Bears. It should be assessed after the kick. So they will get their point after attempt, and they should march off 15 yards against us and kick on a short field.
And so a timeout by Mount Juliet. And now Station Camp leads 6-0. 7:32 to go. And I'm just stunned after that, Coach. What do you think?
Well, like I said, sometimes it's better to just eat that rather than try to be a hero and get the kickoff. If it takes more than 1 or 2 seconds, you need to just fall over and lay on it. But it's always, I mean, you're dealing in high school sports, you're dealing with high school athletes. It's things that they learn. They have to learn, and they make the mistakes, and that's okay. People that get paid millions of dollars make those same mistakes on Sundays, so it's much discussion down here on the sideline, though, between the white hat and Coach Perry. So I didn't see the personal foul, but
Elliott in for the extra point attempt for the Bison.
So now Station Camp will attempt for the extra point. And it is good. So now the score, Station Camp 7, Mount Juliet 0. 7:32 to go here in this first quarter. And so, they're doing everything they can on offense, but, that Station Camp defense is locking them down so far.
well, we've had a overthrow on the pass, and then they stunted through defensively. As far as his kick for the extra point goes, it doesn't have to be pretty. It just has to be between the post, and it was that. So we'll regroup here and try to go fast. Like I said, Station Camp likes to go fast too. So this tempo that we run that slows a lot of people or speeds a lot of people up, this is what they do. When they move the ball up for this short kickoff, be prepared for a little trickeration here. You may very well see an onside kick from Station Camp. Because if they don't recover it and we lay on it, it's still going to be somewhere around our 35-yard line. So this is a plus territory kickoff for Station Camp, so they don't really have anything to lose on it. Plus, Cisse was really close to breaking that last one, so. Tee is up, kick is away. A little line drive, squibber, knuckleball. But they're going to give Cisse a chance.
Wow, big pile in there, and he was able to get a lot out of it.
It's one of my favorite rule changes they've made in the last few years to allow the push of the pile to be able to be pulled. Bowers was on the front side of that, and that needs to be noted that he reached in, grabbed Cisse, and kept pulling. So we will start our third offensive possession from just inside the 30. And like I mentioned earlier, it makes a difference when it's cold outside. And this is the first cool night that they've really had of these temperatures.
Travers, quick throw to the side, and that is a gain of nothing there by the Bears.
Bowers did a good job there of eluding the first tackler, but the first tackler did enough to push him to the inside to allow the outside receiver to come up and make the play. Looks like the Twins is going to flip, so we're now going to have Twins to the near side. Single receiver to the top.
Nice handoff. Good run there from Darius Morton.
Makes it a third and manageable. He picks up some yards. Got a lot of plays in the playbook for 3rd and 5. Don't have a whole lot for 3rd and 10 and beyond. So single receiver to the near. Twins to the far side. Travers with a little rollout, sets his feet. Good throw to Danion. Danion on the near side picks up the first down and spins out of bounds. Just a nice pitch and catch there. Danion sits down. they were a little high over the top. I think they were probably concerned because he's had big plays in the last few games where he's gone over the top of the defense. So I would love to tell you at home who number 7 is for Station Camp, but as Denver said earlier, Max Preps doesn't have a number 7 listed. So,
Oh, good run again. It's Darius Morton once again with another great run, Coach.
and like I said, now you're seeing the tempo play out, and you're seeing how it sets up. We'll make a quick exchange here of personnel. Brings up a second and very manageable.
And number 13, Baylor Osborne, comes into the game for the Golden Bears.
And into the backfield.
Hands off, it's Morton again. And
Depends on the spot, but now from up here at the box, the drive looks like he has it. The far side line judge is calling third down, so is the near side. So
Third and short to the Golden Bears.
yep, 3rd and short here.
expect Station Camp to come right up the middle with the blitz. Their MO is to be aggressive defensively as well as offensively. So a set in the backfield for the Golden Bears. Travers, good job. Just a little quarterback sneak there to pick it up. Use that long body. Good call, good execution.
Travers with the carry, quarterback sneak. Official timeout on the field.
Number 30 lost his helmet for Station Camp, so he will have to step off for a play.
That's another Chick-fil-A Golden Bear first down.
Mount Juliet readies for play. Twins to the near side. Wing to the far side. Wing in motion. Snap, give to Bowers. No, excuse me, Irby. Irby out of bounds. Right around the line of scrimmage.
Irby with the carry.
As Coach Hyatt said earlier, both of these teams coming into this game 4-1. Golden Bears on a 4-game win streak, and Station Camp on a 2-game win streak. Station Camp coming off a 21-point win against West Creek.
Now Juliet lines up in the spread formation, twins to both sides. Tight to the near side, spread wide to the far. And looks like we've got
Oh, man.
false start on the offense.
Flag on the play.
So 5-yard penalty. We'll line up and do 2nd and 15. We'll do it again.
Replay it now.
Trips to the far side. Station Camp still protecting the box. They're running a whole lot of They're running a whole lot of linebackers inside.
Oh, man.
With the carry.
And the play there may be to get it in space and try to pick apart with your receivers. But again, the wind is pretty hectic. It's still blowing pretty hard. So that brings up 3rd and 13.
Long throw. Ah,
Pass incomplete.
to the ground.
Intended for Irby.
Just a short hop there.
First down, Golden Bears.
So finishing third possession with 3:09 in the first quarter. Station Camp's going to receive the ball back from the punt.
We're getting in the snap. Should lose it.
Special teams is already it cost us last time. So making sure that we fill our lanes and they don't even have anybody back to return this.
So at about the 20-yard line,
Ball is down.
that's where Station Camp will start.
It'll be first and 10.
And look for them to break huddle, and they're going to break huddle and go right to their play. So it's imperative the defense gets out, gets set, and is ready to go. If I'm not mistaken, last year's Station Camp game ended on a field goal. Station Camp hit at the end in a big matchup over there in Gallatin. Station Camp comes out in the Maryland I. 2 fullbacks and a tailback. Runs a lead play, bounces to the outside, heading up their sideline, steps out about the 40. So Station Camp is making it a point to run the ball, and they're making it a point to step out and show that they're going to run the ball. Even though it's a run-heavy offense, you can pass out of it, but they're going right back to him. This time he's going nowhere. Gain of 1, maybe a long 2, but again, you see their tempo, Denver. They're popping in, they're setting up. Got a broken helmet there. That's what allowed the timeout and the substitution change. Given to the second. And that's the thing about this Maryland I. When you're passing, when all 3 backs are coming by the quarterback, any one of them can take the handoff. So you have to honor all of them, which means you have to play good, solid, fundamental defense and honor your reads. That time it was given to the second back. Alcoa ran this a few years ago to perfection, all the way to I think they had 1 loss to Maryville that year, but otherwise ran it to a state championship.
And diving there for the first down for Station Camp.
I think his shoe came untied. But again, they sent both front fullbacks came to the near side here. We did what we were supposed to, and he gives it to the high side and bounces. Back give to the second. They are calling him down.
I noticed that a little bit after. Looks like that fumble came out a little bit after he was down.
Yeah, they were in no hurry to allow that to roll. They just started blowing it dead. Cisse has come out for a helmet issue as well. Whitehat is given the call. The play clock and the game clock had stopped, but since there wasn't actually a fumble, there is no change of possession, so the clock should be running on the run. Back into the I, given to the tailback. Heading up the near side, picks up a few. And like I said, this I formation, this Maryland I, is just meant to run right down your throat.
The ground game has been working for them, though.
It's so hard to honor every one of them and actually control your lanes and stay where you're supposed to. It's a different look. And if you've never been on the defensive side of it, to see it coming at you, it's something. It's a lot harder to. You can say easy if you're watching at home, or easy if you're sitting up here in the box to say, okay, well, they're giving it to the tailback. But remember, he's got 2 full runners coming at you. And a lot of times when you see these power run games like this, we're looking for guards pulling, tackles pulling, or centers, depending on who you're playing. Well, now they're just getting ahead of steam from 4 and 5 yards back, and they're coming at you. So it's really important to fill the gaps, fill the lanes, and sit down and make the proper read. But that means everybody, there's not a lot of room for error there because the tailback's coming with, like I said, full-speed blockers. So at the end of 1, Station Camp is up 7-0 over your Golden Bears. We've got a 3rd and short coming when we start back into the second quarter. And it's a big 3rd down. I mean, it's early, but it's a big 3rd down. They advanced it last time on about a 3rd and 6, and he picked up 9. So this could be a huge stuff right here if we could get the ball, get them stopped, and get the ball back. Offensively, we had a little bit working last time, so I'd like to get our offense the ball back and see what happens here. The station camp doing exactly what they've been doing this entire drive, right back out to the Maryland I. At some point, you have to think the quarterback's going to fake it, pull it, and roll. Offside, so we gave them the first down on that one. So it will now be 1st and 10. And the clock never moved. There's still going to be 12 minutes on the clock here in the second quarter.
Offside against the defense. 5-yard penalty.
All the way on the right. You want to
Results in the play is a first down.
closer? Give me a close. That's good. Switching cam 2. Nope, never mind. Staying cam 1.
Hand off again.
He's bobbling it, but he held on to it. The mesh point again wasn't just great, but
Cam 2, stay on 4.
good enough play by number 4. And I'm going to apologize to Station Camp again. You don't have him listed, and if you do, he has a different number.
Please fix that list, please.
Pick up those 6. Second down and 4.
One of the things to notice here, Denver, if you see how tight this I formation is with the double tight down, look how if they can get wide, if they can get space, he goes. So
They try to do there.
he's trying to bounce. And it's important to remember, like, as I said, when you're talking about right now, Station Camp's just trying to play power offense, which I like it, but that's beside the point. But they're kind of getting us in tight, and here in a second they're going to try to go wide. There's the pass out of it and wide open.
Oh, man, and he's down at the 10-yard line.
Wide open comes the tight end.
Time with the reception. First down, Bison.
45 on the corner route there.
Wow, and you'd be thinking that after they run it, a lot of plays, they'd eventually throw it at some point.
Yeah, I mean, that's just a set-up bootleg play. You stick it into the gut, and he runs out to the corner. The best thing that happened for us on that one is he threw it just a little bit behind him, so he had to slow down, and that's the catch is what took him to the ground. If not, he would be standing in the end zone. So, like I said, that's what that eye is designed to do, is to get you tight and then to hit space.
Cam 2, get that runner. Stay on 8.
Give back on the other side. Good hard run by number 8.
Taking 2.
Dickens with carry. Zerniak with the stop.
Taking 1.
Pick up a 4. Second down and 6. Bison.
It's just a time-consuming offensive set. An offense that I would like to mention hasn't scored yet. Now, they're knocking on the door, but offensively, they did not get their 7 from offense. Now they're in the wishbone set with two tailbacks and a single full. It's the same 3 backs, but it's a different look.
Bears were able to stop it. That's going to be 3rd down.
Carry. Zerniak and Cisse with the stop.
The wishbone brings in a lot of different movements and a lot of crossing opportunities to get you caught.
Make some noise, Baby Bear fans.
Probably one of the best offenses to run to make linebackers run into each other because they've all got responsibility reads. Station Camp didn't like what the result of that was, so they're going back to the Maryland I.
Yeah, I got no signal before.
Here's the boot again. 13's improvising, going to the other side.
Oh, man.
Cam 2, take 4.
Leaked out to the backside, and number 4 with an easy walk-in touchdown.
Touchdown, Bison. Ellis with the reception.
4's being really glitchy and slow.
Lancaster really didn't want to go that way, Denver. He just was kind of forced. When he tried to roll to the near side, he had a barrier standing in his way. When he went to the other side, that's what made him see him.
You were talking about it, Coach. Our Bears defense, they're close in, so it's going to give that running back a chance to go out to the far side as you were talking.
Well, when he steps up into that pass protection, it's easy to just slip through.
Taking Cam 1.
And extra point is good.
Cam 1.
And so 8:57 to go. Station Camp up 14-0 against the Golden Bears. At this point in the game, Coach, how you feeling for the Bears?
Well, I mean, you've still got more than 2.5 quarters to go. The biggest
yeah.
thing is you got to come out and generate, and you've got to do the little things. Like I said, that's their first offensive touchdown. The other one was scored off of a special teams mistake. So I think you're fine. There's not a lot of panic here. The biggest thing is you want to swing that big Mo back in your favor, and they've got Mo right now. And if you don't know what Mo is momentum. and you can sway it really quickly with a big play. You can sway it with a big hit, just something to spark a little bit of life. There's a lot of factors into this. Usually, to this point, we've not had a Thursday night game, and now we're on a Thursday night game. Not saying that makes an excuse, but it does change your preparation about what the week looks like. So, Cisse has come close to busting 2 of these. At some point, I would have to think he's going to quit kicking it to Cisse, but that is why Coach Alexander is the coach at Station Camp, and I am not. There's your little squib kick, and they have recovered the onside kick, or did they not? Let's see.
Oh, wow.
Flag on the play.
Illegal touching, so they touched it before it went, is what it looks like the call is.
A little bit. Not as bad as it was.
Because they are motioning our ball, so let's see what they call.
Taking Cam 1 right now. Cam 2, give me the ref on the middle of the field. Taking Cam 2. Keep it stuck. Taking Cam 1.
Illegal touching against the kicking team.
So there's the illegal touching. It will be our ball. But then they also called another penalty. And by what he's walking off, it looks like potentially a block in the back.
Cam 1, get the wide so you can see them running in.
So best field position to this point to start
Hey.
with.
35-yard line.
34-yard line.
So twins to the near, single receiver to the top. Travers has the call, looks over the defense, makes himself ready.
Cam 2, follow that
Give
runner.
to Morton up the middle.
Good run.
Down, ready? Taking 2.
Morton with the carry.
Follow that runner.
Looking for, I can't see their free safety's number, but their free safety came in like a missile with the intentions to dislodge the ball from Morton.
Cam 2, give me that runner.
Oh,
Morton with the carry.
Taking Cam 2.
that's a first down as Warren bumped one defender and then was brought down.
That's that same free safety. He's flying in, and that's important to notice because if I see that in the box, I assure you our coaches see that as well. He's leaving position and just going into the run support. So
Quick throw and shoved out immediately.
incomplete. Hit,
My
knocked the ball
mistake.
loose.
Phillips was the intended receiver.
A well-timed hit there.
Second and 10, Golden Bears.
I'm with you, Denver. I thought he had it until I saw it rolling down the field. So twins to the near side, single receiver to the far. Give to Morton going around to the far side, short side of the field. We got a flag on the play, probably going to be a hold. It's in the vicinity of hold.
Yeah.
Yep. It'll be a hold on the Golden Bears. So most likely Station Camp will accept it, which make it 2nd and 20.
Only 10 yards from the spot of the foul.
Camera 2, push camera 2. Can you hear me?
When the white hat throws it, it's really
The camera button.
no arguing that one. That one was quick.
Not the screen up top, but the screen was attached to the camera that flips out.
2nd and 20.
Remaining second down.
What? Yeah, it's fine now.
Just Cam 1 look a little uneven.
The important thing here is to remember you don't have to get all 20 yards back on one play. You just want a nice play to try to chip it.
Out a little farther.
Twins to both sides. Travers steps up, he steps back, he gets the defensive look. Now he takes the call.
The black fence that's behind you. I want you to go farther down on it. Yes.
Here he goes. Long throw. Yes!
Travers said, I'm sorry, Coach Hyde, I'll get it all back in one play. So, good touchdown pass there. Cisse, as we talked about earlier, he's blown the top off the last couple of weeks going over the top, and he does it again there. But Cisse's been given the credit, but I think it was Bowers.
That was a great throw by Travers.
That's a very good play.
Kind of how Making sure this is good.
All right. Extra point is good, which makes your score Station Camp 14 and your Golden Bears 7.
And that's a good momentum swing. I mean, that's a good, quick finish
Yep.
to the drive. And now coming out and responding. Station Camp on their 2 offensive possessions have shown 2 totally different looks. So what will their third offensive drive look like? Will they come back to the Maryland I? Will they go back to every look they've had has had a run front, though. So they've had tight ends involved. They just haven't had wide receivers. They've had everything tight, including go back to the first set. They ran shotgun, but he still had 2 running backs either side of him. So very important here for us to get a good, quick 3 and out, get the ball back, and do that again. Big hole right here over the front line. Something to pay attention to later on in the game.
Echeverria to kick.
That one will be returned. No, it won't. He ducked. And it just barely went into the end zone.
Oh, I could have.
So
Man.
That's the difference between us and college and all the other ones. Once it touches the end zone, it's dead. So Echeverria almost laid it up with a beautiful chip shot. It just barely went into the end zone, forcing the touchback.
That one was close, though, Coach. It was close.
Well, Station Camp just about made a costly mistake on special teams that would have evened the score up. Good kick, though. Good kick. So Station Camp will come back out in the Maryland I.
Yep.
Camp 2 farther on. Camp 2 stay
And about a gain of 2 yards there for Station Camp.
Give to the second man in the stack. And like I said, it's a lot harder to stop than it may appear because you've got so many moving pieces to it. They've booted out of it twice for quarterback to be 2 and 2, a long gain on a third down and a touchdown out of it. So they're getting the looks that they want and the movement they want. You just have to play with your rules and try to, really and truthfully, you just want to stuff a hole. If you can stuff the hole that they're running in and make him bounce it back inside.
Looked like he spun a little bit.
You'll have help to the inside. You just don't have any help to the outside, so you want to turn everything back in so that your linebackers, your defensive tackles can clean it up here.
Handoff, and that's a first down for Station Camp, and he's still going.
Ball's out.
Oh, wow.
It was a great effort by Dickens, but he did a little bit too much. And it's a Golden Bear football, and that is the momentum swing that I was talking about. You just go down, you punch it in, you come out. Hey, he had the first down, but it doesn't matter because he laid the ball on the ground and we picked it up. So here's a good chance for the offense to respond. Like I said, you've got them back on the ropes just a little bit.
All right, offense out quickly. 1st and 10 from the 43-yard line, Coach.
Got a nice tight set here, both sides. Travers looks at the defense, going to give to Morton, going to the far side. 45 is sitting. The linebacker is sitting on Morton. And what I mean by that is wherever Morton is going, Pine is shadowing him. Usually you see that with running quarterbacks where the outside linebacker or middle linebacker would shadow or spy the quarterback, but they are spying Morton because 45 has been around the ball every time. I don't know that I even think he's reading his responsibilities. I think he's just looking at Morton. So that brings up a 2nd and 12. Twins to the near side, twins to the far. Far twins are tight. Wide splits here on the near side. Travers gets the call. He now goes set. There's the pump. We're going for another long throw.
Oh, that was close.
Missed him by that much.
I believe that was intended for.
Irby.
Okay,
Yeah.
Taking 4. It's still looking.
I'll thank the radio booth next to us. They called it, and I saw they have binoculars, so I'm going to trust what they said.
All right, cam 1 ready. Taking cam 1.
Travers just a little too much arm in that one, but it was the right read. Good throw.
Cam 2, great job following.
That's one of those cases where he was throwing Irby open. Irby was not open when he let it go. Trips to the near side, single receiver to the top. Travers drops. Travers got pressure. Travers goes down.
Perfect. Taking 2. Stay on.
Record to the stop.
So that's the outside linebacker that comes on the blitz there. And he wasn't even concerned about that handoff. It being a 3rd and long, he was going straight in and going after the quarterback. That was his read.
and so that's a quick 3 and out by MJ.
Cam 1 ready. I'm taking cam 1.
Got a slow. Nobody's back.
Cam 2, follow that ball.
That just got back to our original line of scrimmage, so
Down the ball.
about a 21-yard punt there.
1st and 10 from the 31 to Bison.
Again, you'll see station camp. They're taking their huddle. They're getting their offensive play on the sideline. They're going to run right out, snap it, and try to set tempo. You can be a running team that kills clock and still run tempo. They're going to have a receiver to the far side this time.
Cam 1. Taking cam 1.
Let's see. And here we go. We're going back to that double tight single receiver to the far side shotgun look that they started out for the opening series.
Cam 2, follow that running.
Stuck it in the gut to number 1, given to the far side.
Oh,
Taking 2. Don't lose him.
Pretty good gain on that one.
Both over the carry. Cisse with the stop.
That'll bring up a 2nd and 5.
Mr. P.
They're staying to it, bringing the single receiver to the near side to the Mount Juliet sideline. Still have double tight ends.
Like big fast movers.
Quarterback keeper. It's a design keeper.
and he's getting through.
It's going back.
Flag on the play.
Yep, there was a flag.
Follow away.
Holding against the offense.
The crowd here, I think I heard Mr. Peach say earlier that the crowd mic wasn't on tonight, but if it was, you would have heard holding because it was called from our side and our sideline, and I think Coach Perry told them 3 times. So
A little bit more. That's good.
it was a good run, good cut by the quarterback. However, he had assistance to get to that hole.
Cam 1, taking cam 1 ready. Taking 1.
Repeat 2nd down.
So back into that double tight flanker look is what we used to call it. Oh, got a little problem with the mesh. And that is a sack. And again, what happens on this is you have the 2 running backs, and one of them is supposed to go in front and one of them is supposed to go second. They both tried to go at the same time, and that causes the quarterback to have to just sit down and wait. He has to wait for that garbage to clear, if you will. And because of that, he had nowhere to go. When he finally did clear the garbage, he had Bears standing in his face. And if I'm not mistaken, that was Zerniak with the sack. So
No, don't worry. If you can't get it, don't worry about it. Now the mic is glitching and the camera is glitching.
so timeout on the field here
Do your mic and the
with
camera.
3:39 and 3rd and a long ways to go.
One, give me that play as soon as they line up, please. Cam 2, no, Cam 2, go back to the cheerleaders.
You typically see, like I said, when a team likes to run it, you think quarterback under center, but here we are in shotgun in the flanker set to the flanker to the top side. You know,
Yeah.
it's going to be a handoff into a pass, and
Zoom in.
Incomplete.
incomplete.
Now. Don't lose him.
13 felt like he had pass interference. Cisse was in pretty good position, so I don't know that he had much of an argument. Had the ball been thrown where it needed to be thrown, yes, but it was underthrown, and Daniel was underneath it. So that'll bring up a station count punt.
It's still glitching.
with 3:30 to go here in the second quarter with your Bears trailing by 7. We've blocked a couple this year, Denver. That's something to pay attention to.
Roseberry back deep for the Golden Bears.
Will we go after it or will we return? We're going to return a squib that he's just going to let bounce and go down. So the ball will be dead at the 39-yard line. With 3:17 to go, our offense will come back out to take the field. And really, I think you would just like to try to get back to even, don't you? I mean,
Yeah.
get back to 14-14, start back 0-0. I think that's an imperative play here. But again, it's not the only thing we have to do. Like, the main thing is no mistakes. Don't give up easy touchdowns that you can't defend. You can't defend pick sixes. You can't defend scooping scores. So just a nice offensive drive here. Let's get some points. Give to Morton. He's still fighting.
Morton with a carry.
Nice.
Number 2, follow 7. Taking 2.
Ellis with the
That'll
stop.
bring up second and about 6,
Pick up a 4. Second down and 6. Golden Bears.
which I'll be honest with you, I think that was a generous spot. I thought he was down a little bit before, but Morton's yards per carry will thank you for that. Twins to the far side, single receiver and a wing to the near. Travers looks over the defense. He readies, and we've got a false start.
Flag on play.
Whichever ref. I believe the whistle will take it.
Had just a little flinch there by the tackle, and the tackle was pulling out. So
Ref in the middle. Nope. The one in the middle of the play.
tackles tend to get a little anxious sometimes when they're going to get to hit a DB in the open field. So
Still on cam 1.
So that changes that 2nd and 6 into a 2nd and 11. Same formation, twins to the far side, receiver wing to the near. Play clock is at 0.
Play stops.
Flag on the play.
So the play clock went to 0, so that's going to be a delay of game.
That works. Taking zoom in. More. Taking 2.
So that's going to be a delay of game and back us up another 5 yards. So that'll be a 2nd and 16 now when we come out of this timeout.
I got 4 now.
Timeout, Golden Bears.
Just lost sight of the play clock on that one.
4 is not glitching enough.
You typically, you look at the back judge back here, when his hand goes up and starts coming down, he's counting down. So a quarterback has 2 different markers he can look at. He can look at the pretty clock that we have hanging above the field house, or he can look at the back judge. On that particular play, he saw neither. But I would assume, Denver, this is the play they wanted to begin with. So Station Camp taking advantage of this timeout.
All right. 2nd down here for the Bears. 2:12 is what they got to work with. I think that's plenty of time.
Twins to the far side. Single receiver and wing to the near. Travers struggles with the
Incomplete pass.
It was a low snap, and Travers tried to get it to number 28.
I want to see his feet.
he struggled to get a handle on that one. Did a good job of finally getting it up and just putting it near a Golden Bear to not draw grounding.
Ready? Taking cam 1.
Had 2 standing in the vicinity, so not really a question. So this brings up a 3rd and long.
Here we go.
Give to Morton going to the far side. Morton's going to get back close to the original line of scrimmage.
Morton on the carry.
Still going to bring up 4th and about 11, depending on the spot.
Perfect's down 7.
4th and 12.
4th down, Golden Bears.
So they shorted him by about a yard. Punting situation, very imperative here that you fill your lanes and do not, again, they've not sent anybody back, but you don't want to allow them the opportunity here to pick up something cheap.
Number 2's down 7 all the way back to the.
It looked like that was the play there for them to really push the tempo, but you know those flags can really hurt you, Coach.
Well, you can overcome a lot of things. You can't overcome self-inflicted penalties.
Yeah, just go for whoever receives or just tackle or just running, whatever it is.
So Shanuda, the past couple, has had short squib punts. I think you'd like to see him bomb this one and really try to pin them back deep because you're playing the field position game. Station Camp still has all 3 timeouts and about 2 minutes to go, so pin them back as deep as you can and make them start burning them. It's going to get a friendly Mount Juliet roll, and we're going to down it about the 19-yard line. So if you notice them not touching it, what they're trying to do is they're going to make the ball completely die before the officials blow it dead. If they touch it prior to that, that's seconds that we could have ran off the clock by not touching it. So that is why you see them run down and hold their arms out. They're waiting on that ball to completely stop and make the officials stop it. So Station Camp has now picked up a sideline warning. Their next one will be a penalty. They're back out in the flanker set, double tight.
Hand off, and he's stuffed.
So how does Coach Alexander here want to play this? Is he going to burn a timeout? Or is he content letting the clock run at knowing he gets the ball back after halftime? They're not in a big hurry, so it looks like he's content getting to half. And I think, again, I think it's important to notice that the difference in the ball game is not an offensive touchdown, but yet a special teams defensive touchdown for the Bison. So he'll take this snap under a minute. Never mind, he goes quick to it. Gives the read. It's just a little read option around the top.
Nice.
We can't stop the clock, but they can bleed the clock out. So at 3rd and long, it will be another run because they do not want to chance. I wouldn't think, giving the ball back. We've had them beat over the top twice. Once it counted and once was an overthrow. They should drag this thing down all the way to about 15 seconds when he takes the snap. So crazier things have happened. Sometimes they feel like they can go for it, but they may run this thing down all the way and take the timeout. And that's what it looks like they're going to do is take it to the 1 and take the timeout. So 16 seconds to go in the first half. They'll take a timeout. You got a couple plays here that you can do either way if you're the offense. You can take a knee to just kill it, or you can try to run a play and see if it busts. Neither one of them are really wrong. For Station Camp, you just want ball security. For Mount Juliet, you want a mistake. You want the ball to squirt out somewhere.
Yeah, he's in the bleachers. He's walking. Hurry. He's in between them. Yeah, give us your feet.
At the end of the game, we typically call it victory formation, but at the beginning of a game, we just call it taking a knee.
I'm not taking two.
So we'll see what they do here. The Station Camp has got their instructions and takes the field.
I'll play it.
They're going back to the Maryland I. They're going to try to punch one through real quick. And there's the knee.
Yep.
So that should drag us out to halftime. So at halftime, your Golden Bears 7, Station Camp Bison 14. It'll be Station Camp's ball coming out of the half.
All right, thank you guys for watching the first half. If you've been watching, tune in. Do not change the channel. Do not, and we'll see you guys in the second half.
And welcome back to Roger Perry Field here at the Mel Brown Athletic Complex at Mount Juliet High School, where your Golden Bears trailed the Station Camp Bison 14-7. I think I owe an apology, Denver, from the first half where I said this would be an offensive game. The offenses have only combined for 14 points. The difference in the game being a special teams touchdown where Station Camp returned a field goal attempt where the snap was bobbled. Echeverria did a good job of trying to get through it and get the kick off. However, he got the kick off. Station Camp picked it up and ran it back up the far side. So Station Camp has come out. Mount Juliet at the beginning of the game won the toss and elected to receive. So Station Camp will receive coming out of the second half. And this is a big series. This is you'd like to get a quick 3 and out, get the ball back, put it in your offense's hands. Special teams have been kind of tricky both ways. Station Camp's not been sending anybody back as far as having a return man for their punt team. But as I talked about earlier, if you look at this kick return formation, there's a lot of green grass between the first line and the second line. And I think at some point you're going to see us try to pooch like they tried early in the game to get it into that little hole. That middle is wide open. But Echeverria is set and away. The kick is deep and long, and it will be not returned. Echeverria in the first half just about laid a beautiful chip shot that stopped on the G of the goal line, but it touched the inside of the end zone, and so it became a touchback. But we just about got the ball back down at the goal line. Station Camp has been very heavy run tonight, very heavy run, and they're going to continue as they come out in double tight in the Maryland I set. Given to the far side to number 8, going to his sideline. And again, the Maryland I is so hard to defend because you have to take into account 2 fullbacks, not just one, and you can give it to any of the above. Takes very responsible defense.
Here we go with the eye again.
Same play, different result. That's going to bring up third down. It's going to be a 3rd and short. Little personnel change here. They just brought in a bigger fullback to go to the front of that Maryland I. So it would appear they're going to look to power it through again. Quarterback sneak, and he got through. He got more, but he has enough for the first down. So that'll be 1st and 10 at about the 35-yard line. You get so concerned with that backfield that you kind of forget about the quarterback sometimes, and he comes through, and on that one, he just took a step and sidestepped and picked up what he needed.
Again, and
Ball is on the ground. Anytime you see that black baggie come out, and it came out from multiple officials, now we're just waiting for them to sort it out. We say it's ours. Station Camp's not pointing. White Hat gives it back to Station Camp. So that'll bring up a 2nd and 7. And they're giving the call that there was no fumble, yet we had bags out. So there was a fumble. The White Hat just overruled it.
And we saw that same exact thing in the first half, Coach.
Yeah, it got a couple mesh point issues.
Oh, and a spin through and brought to the ground.
If you remember back a few weeks ago when we played Warren County, that exact same run by Morton drew a targeting call from his tailback position, but not tonight.
Hand off to number 8. And about a gain of 4 there. And Will Zerniak again.
And like I said, you see this lead look, which is what it is. You've got quarterback is going quick to try to catch us with 12 on the field. He didn't catch it, but give him back to the far side. They like that side. Denver, that's the side they want to keep running to. They seem to have their success over on that far side.
Jenkins with a carry.
that lead I referenced earlier is they just lead up through the hole. That's what those blockers are doing.
I
Third and
formation.
short, give to the second. It's a tackle for a short game, but it's enough for a first down. So, like I said, the runs are typically for ball control, and they're killing the clock. But if you notice, they get their call, they're back to the line. They're not watching play clock. They're going. Got a little confusion in the backfield.
He's going
They're
out.
running.
Going deep. Oh, incomplete. A little miscommunication there, Coach.
The miscommunication is Station Camp's offensive tight end just batted the way from their other tight end. Pretty good coverage on our side. He came from this near side and just ever so slightly behind us, but we got some laundry on the field too. So, all right. So we had a false start. We'll take the 5 yards. I think I'd almost rather have the loss of down and have 2nd and 10 instead of 1st and 15. But there's the give back to the far side. Again, I mean, it's Denver. It's just they have found something that works, and they're going to run it until we stop it. That is what they are doing.
If it ain't broke, don't fix it,
Yeah,
Coach.
exactly. And you have to applaud them because, I mean, they're gaining yards out of this Maryland dime. We know what's coming. I would expect the give to number 4 this time. He hasn't touched it yet. See, he's trying to get out to the edge to set the side.
He's going to get some, but a
Here comes
pile
another flag.
of Bears meets him up as Coach says there is a flag.
It's going to be against Station Camp. For those of you at home, if you saw number 4 for Station Camp pop to the outside, what they're trying to do is seal to allow a bounce lane for number 8, who is going to take a breather. Every offensive play they've ran, except for 2 this third quarter, he has touched the ball. So back to the wishbone set. I would expect number 4 here. Nope, give to the other side. He is going nowhere.
Good stuff.
We've done a good job tonight in that wishbone. The wishbone they went to when they got near the goal line earlier, and they come out of it pretty quick. Again, it's just that 3-back set in the backfield, and it causes a lot of misdirection. The Bears in that 6-man front. We're responding tight. Got a little. Okay, here comes the Maryland eye again.
3rd and long.
We're going to pass it. We've got tight ends open in the middle. 13 is looking. He's looking. He's going to scramble out of bounds. But it's a stop. Denver, it does not matter.
That's good.
That is going to bring up 4th and forever. So, Station Camp most likely going to punt the ball. Not a lot of 4th and 20-yard plays in the playbook. Still want to honor. Don't want to allow them anything cheap here. Don't want to let the punter just pick up and throw over your head. We came after it. Fair catch has been called for. Fair catch is fielded at about the 27-yard line. So that's what we needed. We needed the initial stop coming out of halftime, and we got it. I mean, they picked up a few first downs. It ate a little bit off the clock, but the way our offense moves the ball, that's not that big of a deal. I would be curious to see how quick we move or what our first play is. We've had over the top twice. We connected once on a touchdown and once we just missed. So I would expect at some point Coach Perry, Coach Carver to take the shot again. Twins to the near side, single receiver to the top. Wing to the near as well. Give to Morton. Morton's got a lane this time, folks.
Oh, nice.
He's got a lane and a good spin move, and he is still driving.
There you go. Good run.
I believe that was on Aiden Bustle's side that he busted it loose on. That has by far been his best run of the night. So if you can get into the second level and not be touched, you need to go thank and hug a lineman, and that's what Morton needs to do on that is tell his line thank you because he got to the second level without being touched. He's going again, folks, right up the middle.
Nice. Back-to-back plays there, Coach.
I think it's important to mention, I mentioned it early, but number 17, the free safety for Station Camp, they really need to check him because he is leading with the crown of his head, which is targeting. But this is the response you wanted. Stacks to both sides.
Quick throw. Sideline going through and then brought down. That's a first down for the Golden Bears.
They're either calling pass interference or holding. Looks like it's going to be a holding call. It's in the lane of holding. Holding on that single stack on the far side. So that will be nullified. We will back up. We will replay first down. We had so much fun on it the last time, we thought we'd try it again. So that brings up first and about 13, 14. But we have finally found that mismatch here with these stacks that is now making the safeties walk out of the middle of the field. So because they're moving out of the middle of the field, that's what's giving Morton the lane up the middle. It's softening that defense up just a little bit. All right, Travers on the keeper coming around. He pulls up, he throws.
Nice.
We're going to have ineligible man downfield on this, though. So a very headsy play to get rid of the ball, but at the same point, when you make that pass, your linemen still have to be right inside the line of scrimmage, and Isbell was just a little bit downfield. He was probably about 6 yards downfield. They'll give you 3 steps. They'll maybe give you 4, depending. But the way that one kind of drug itself out, I think he had to call it. So ineligible man downfield. It'll back us up 5. So here we go on a long first down. As I said earlier, you don't have to get it all back in one play. You just want to put yourself in a position. So twins to the far side. A spread look we're giving.
Almost picked.
Yes. So through the hands of Irby into the hands of the cornerback, but he couldn't make the catch. So the beautiful thing about that is it was an almost, but it was not a pick. So offense is awaiting the play calls from Coach Brown. It would appear we're going back into the stack look. We are. Again, you do that, it softens the middle. They don't have as many up. Give to Morton going up the middle. Shakes one tackler, shakes another. Good, hard, fighting drive there. He runs violently, Denver. I mean, you're not going to bring him down with an arm tackle. You're going to have to gang tackle him, wrap him up, and hope you get help, because if you're one-on-one, he's dragging you. So that takes it back to a 3rd and manageable now, 3rd and a long 6. Plenty of time on the play clock. Don't have to be in a hurry for that. The call is in. Twins to the far side with a wing. Single receiver to the near. Give to Morton going to the far side. He's got the lane. He's got the turn.
Here he goes.
He's at the sideline. He's going to be driven out.
Man.
At the 10. There's a shadow on the field, so I'll just wait for them to mark it before I tell you wrong. But the bottom line is good, hard run there by Morton to pick up that first down. So it's good response by the Bears to have some negative plays and then come back out and still pick up the first down. Morton, again, he's going right back over that side. Just like number 8 likes their sideline, Morton tends to like their sideline as well.
He's been the difference maker, Coach, this half.
Well, and again, I think you have to credit that offensive line for the push, because they're getting movement, which is getting him into the second level. Morton's going to get a well-deserved break on this play. That brings John Michael Cutup in as he is now set up. The play is in. We have single receiver to the far side. John Michael up. He's running on the same side. And guess where John Michael's going? He's heading to the end zone, folks.
Woo!
That is a touchdown for your Golden Bears. So that brings the score to Station Camp 14, Mount Juliet 13, with the pending extra point to tie. That is the response you would like to see. Echeverria is setting himself up. Ricchetти is over, ready to snap. Like I said, this was a trouble spot earlier. We'll hold our breath. We'll wait. We'll watch. The kick is away, and the kick is good. So with 4:10 to go here in the third quarter, your Golden Bears have tied the Station Camp Bison 14. As I said earlier, Denver, this is one of those things that all you wanted to do was get back to even, and now you're at even. So it puts the ball back kind of in your defense's court. You just want to see, you think of the ball being in the offensive court, but on this, you want your defense to go back out and get a stop here, get another stop, get it back. But like I said, that one was primarily dominated on the ground by the Golden Bears. So, actually, I think it was completely dominated by the ground. I was trying to think. We had a hold on the one pass play, and then we had an illegal man downfield, but I think the rest, so. How does Station Camp respond? I mean, do they try to come back out and go back to the I? They've had success with the Maryland I.
They have.
So, comparing stats on the year for them, this has not been a great quarter offensively for Station Camp. But, like I said, I've missed the bus on some of the other stats for tonight too. So, he looks to return it. He's going to be brought down at about the 21-yard line. Zerniak there fills his lane. He runs into him. So, again, here's another, like I said, Station Camp is doing ball control for clock control. But make no mistake. They've got their play call. They're going to run out. They're going to get set, and they're going to take the snap. So, it's just a matter of which set are they coming out in. They're coming out in that flanker to the far side, shotgun look, backs on either side. This is the original set. He's pulling up. He's going to throw it, but it's batted away. It is batted away, and it is batted away by Walls. Walls was not fooled on that one, Denver. He saw that the entire way.
Good block.
Honestly, if they had handed it off, Walls would have made the sack 5 yards deep, or the tackle 5 yards deep. So, best case scenario there for Station Camp was to at least get rid of the ball, and he did that. Staying true to what they have been in, they've liked to one or two sets, and they've stayed in it. So they're in the double tight, flanker to the far side, shotgun. There, this time is not the give, it's the pull, but it is eat up. It is eat up in the backfield. Why? Because we are playing our responsibilities. And who was that number? That was Walls again, folks. Walls has woke up here in this third quarter and back-to-back big plays for the Golden Bears. You wouldn't think it would be a run, but stranger things have happened. He pulls out. He's got some air.
Nope.
But he's also got an incompletion on his record now, too. So that brings up 4th and 10. It is a punting situation. On that last punt Station Camp had, we sent just a little bit of heat, and we got close. Makes you wonder if Coach Perry is going to send punt block this time. But a good 3-and-out, good response. Mm-hmm. That's what you want. Your offense score, your defense say, okay, we're going to give you the ball back. Go do it again. So, punter waits. We're getting through a little bit of a squibber. It's important that we stay away from it because if it touches us, it becomes live. But we got away, so we will take over at the 47-yard line. It's explosive second half so far, Denver.
That was a great defensive stop there.
That was by far our best defensive series of the night. And again, you don't necessarily know if it's a schematic thing or what they're doing, but that flanker set, we seem to have it snuffed out pretty well. It's that Maryland I would expect to see coming back here in a moment. Now Juliet takes the ball, twins to the far side, wing on the high side, give to Morton going around the far side. Nope, he's faking it. He's coming this way. They're holding his hand. He's still driving them. He's still fighting. He's on his feet. This time it takes the entire team, but he's still moving. Folks, they only stopped him because his forward progress stopped. Otherwise, he squirted out and took off. So 2nd and 9. So he ran about 50 yards to gain 1 yard, but it was a hard 1 yard.
Had him right on the hand, Coach.
He just wanted to hold his hand, Denver. So you got twins to the far side, single receiver to the near, wing to the high. Travers set, looks over. He's going to throw the little bubble. I believe that's Irby. It was
Good
Irby.
gain.
It was a good gain. Good gain. And just like they're trying to tighten us up, we're widening them out. We're trying to get them to come out of the box because that makes Morton's lanes that much easier to run. But if we go tight, then it's the same effect of what they're doing. If you notice down here on this near side in this stack, they're at the numbers. They're well beyond the hash, and we're on the far hash. So stacks to either side. Travers looks. He pulls it up. He's going right back to Irby. Irby with a little bobble, but he holds on.
Nice.
Completes the catch. Gets beyond the stick. I say it's beyond the stick. Let me see the spot. It is beyond. They are going to measure that. Well, they don't pay me. Well, they don't pay me at all. But they don't pay me to make my discussion call on that. But I thought Irby got the ball out in front of him, which would have taken it across the line to gain. You know what, folks? It doesn't matter. It's a first down either way.
Hey, Coach, he made that play out of nothing into something.
He did. You know, a lot of times you see players on that Denver bobble the ball. And when they bobble the ball, they kind of lose their head as far as what they're going to do. Credit Keon Irby right there for staying with it, completing the catch, and then making something out of nothing. So, good job there. Twins to the near side, single receiver to the top. Give to Morton. He bounces it. He was wanting to go up the middle. We've got
Flags.
a penalty coming. I'm going to go out on a limb and say it's in the area of holding.
Holding against the offense.
I think we just like having extra yards. But to my point that I was saying earlier, where we're getting these wide spacing, Morton hit up in the inside, they stuffed it, and he bounced it to the out. And that's what these wide splits give you. So, 1st and 20 on about the 46. We'll see what we got here. Got tight twins to the near side. No, tight trips to the near side. Single receiver to the far. Travers looks over. Travers with the give.
It's Edwards.
Edwards.
Harrison Edwards up the sideline, and he's in.
Man, what an explosive play. Edwards was not touched until he was going into the end zone. That is a credit to the offensive line. That is a credit to the receivers out here on this wide side to not pick up the holding calls and to create a lane for Edwards to run. Edwards got to use his speed and explode through that hole.
If I'm not mistaken, Coach, I believe that was his first carry of the game.
That was his first carry of the game, yes, sir. So waiting the pending extra point. Rigetti to snap. Echeverria, it is up. It is no good. But that puts your Mount Juliet Golden Bears up 20-14 over the Station Camp Bison. What a response. We've had two really long first and forevers, and we've got points. Maybe that's the key. We just need to start out by holding them, back it up, and give ourselves more room. Maybe we were just too tight, but no, you are correct, Denver. That was Harrison's first carry of the game, and it was a big one, and it was a timely run, not necessarily because it gave us the lead, but that's that momentum thing that we were talking about earlier. It is a fickle game. I've been in the huddles on that, like they're having on the other side, and they're just talking about calm down, get the ball, let's make a play. Somebody make a play. 6-point game is hardly a reason to panic, but they don't want this to keep kind of rolling downhill. So,
Let's hear it, Golden Bear fans. Make some noise.
Station Camp looks like they are going to set up for the return. Again, it is important to notice there's a lot of green grass. Don't be shocked if Coach Perry, who is extremely aggressive, at some point goes after that. The kick is away. It won't be on this one, but it also won't be returned either. So, man, what a weapon Echeverria can be. You just take the ball at the 20. So let's see what offensive set Station Camp comes out in. What do you think, Denver? You think it'll be the Maryland I, or do we go back to the flanker set?
From that first half, I definitely say the I, Coach. It's been working for them mostly, and so, like we said, if it ain't broke, don't fix it.
You are correct. That's been their most successful offensive set of the night, and they're back in it, the Maryland I. Here it comes to the near side. Number 8 has definitely earned his carries tonight. Dickens has. Dickens has been their workhorse. Of course, he's also listed as a quarterback, so he plays a little bit of both. Back to the Maryland I quickly. Depending on if you played, when you played, or where you're from, this Maryland I can also be called the smokestack. Same formation.
That was Dickens again on that play.
Quarterback keeper. He's got it, but not much more. And you got to think, at some point, Denver, I mean, number 8, Dickens, was out on that last series when they punted. He had to take him a breather. When you work a kid so much, I mean, he's been a big part of their offense tonight. Here it goes again. Give to the far side. Oh, and Cisse Dannon sticks his shoulder into his gut and drives him backwards. He gains 3 yards, but Cisse laid the wood on him on that play. And that will be the final play of the third quarter. So here we go to the fourth quarter. Your Mount Juliet Golden Bears 20, Station Camp Bison 14.
It's going to be a tight one. I can feel it, Coach.
I hope not. I would like a good stop and another score and a stop and a score. I was trying to watch we were at the basketball coaching clinic when when we were playing White County. And so I was watching on my phone, and at one point I think we were up 21-0.
Yep.
Then I looked back and it was 28-21, and I thought, what happened? And I got home and I saw the 2-point play.
Yeah.
And then the hook and ladder at the end for the setup to hit the field goal for the win. So I don't really want to go through all those emotions tonight. I would rather just wrap this thing up in regulation. But
that game was unbelievable, though, you got to say.
Two of the state's best running backs in that game, and they both put on a show. Mm-hmm. Nobody could disappoint. So back to the Maryland I, we see Station Camp's already under center as we running to get out. They give it to the front fullback. I believe that is the first time they've handed to him. And you see where I was talking about earlier, playing your gap responsibility. It's so critical against this Maryland I because there's 3 of them. 4 if you count the quarterback. Alcoa used to run the quarterback off behind them in a quarterback keeper. So 3rd and short, back in the I. It's going to be give back to who? Number 8. As he lowers his head, he powers through. He's got the first down.
That was Dickens again.
Dickens, when he gets to the line of scrimmage, he just lowers down and he is coming. He is listed as about 188 pounds, but he's running a lot harder than that tonight. Back to the I, give up the middle on the first again. This time he's going nowhere. Host of Bears on that stop. But it looked like Slocum had it and snuffed it out first. He was the one under the pile. So back to the I. They can pass out of this, and they've hurt us with that early, so it's something to see. There's the give again, but this time, have a seat. Wow. Sam Oliver, folks, just snuffed that out and met him at the line of scrimmage. And that Dickens will now go out and take himself a break, bringing up a 3rd and 11 for Station Camp. staying true to what they've been in most of this half. They're in the eye again. Give to number 4. They're just trying to gain a little bit back to make it manageable. He bounced a little bit farther. It's going to be 4th and 4. Big play needed. They stepped under to try to draw us off sides. Don't be shocked if they don't do it again with the hard count cadence. They're setting up to run their play. 4th and 4. In that eye again. Give to the second back. He is stuffed. He is going nowhere. Bear ball. That is a bear ball. Turnover on downs. And that gives the ball back to our offense.
You were right, Coach.
Man, credit Station Camp for staying true to who they are and trying to run it. Their last couple of pass plays weren't very fluid as they had some misdirection or some miscommunication, rather, with their receivers and too many receivers being in the same area. But 1st and 10, Golden Bears, stacks to either side. Travers walks out with Morton to the far side beside him. Makes his read, steps back.
He's going long for this one. Oh. Almost had it.
He had it. He had a step on him. That's a shot call. Just a hair out of reach. Just a hair out of reach. So it brings up 2nd and 10 with 9:19 to go here in the 4th quarter. Golden Bears 20. Station Camp Bison 14. Travers to the ready. Looks over the defense. So Morton bobbled that just a little bit, drug it out to try to get back to the line of scrimmage. Can't tell if he did. They didn't move the sticks, so we're going to say he got back to the line of scrimmage. So that'll be 3rd and 10. The clock is ticking. Plenty of time on the play clock. No need to hustle there. Single receive. Twins to either side, sorry. Twins to both. Still got plenty of time on the play clock. Sitting at about 10 seconds. Travers now looks over. Just dragging some clock down. He's got the completion. He has a 1st down. Just hang on to the ball. Ball security. That is a 1st down, Golden Bears.
Great execution.
That is a veteran play from everybody involved. Travers took a hit after he threw the ball, but he hung in there. He found Bowers, who had sat down in the zone, found the soft spot, catches. Good execution, good play call. Now you get a fresh set of downs and get the opportunity to run the clock some more. Single receiver to the far, pulled it out. We're gonna continue going through the air.
Whoa.
So that's the beautiful thing, Denver. Sometimes you can set up the run by passing, but you can also set up the pass by running. And Morton and Harrison, with those hard runs in that last drive, they've backed their secondary off some, and now Travers is picking them apart. So good play call. 1st and 10, and the clock is still running. 17 seconds to go on the play clock. And the clock is our friend right now.
Yep, they're trying to waste on all that time.
Give to Morton up the middle, and he drives close to another 1st down. So offensively, the Golden Bears have woke up, and here they come. Morton ran out of his shoe. And then Morton could not get his shoe back on, so he's off the field for a minute. So that's going to bring up 2nd and 2 on a wardrobe malfunction.
Edwards comes in.
Well, he's got a great average. He's 1 for 1 for touchdown.
Yep.
Single receiver to the far side. Twins motion coming to the near. That is Baylor Osborne at the wing. Travers gives to Harrison. Harrison cuts up the middle. He's going to be real close to that goal line, but that is going to be a first down. Looks like they are spotting on the 5. This is the angle that we were talking about earlier, Denver, that
Yep.
makes it a little hard to see from the box where we are. But we will most likely take this snap under 6 minutes to go here in the fourth quarter. No reason to be in a hurry. Again, at the moment, the clock is our friend. You want to get the call, you want to execute, especially on a first and goal.
Here we go.
We've got a double wing look. Give to Morton up the middle. He's driving, he is pushing, he has stopped. But he dug his head into that pile and just started driving his legs. So that's going to be,
Yeah, pick up a 4.
so that is going to be second and goal from the 2. Again, ball security is what you want. You can bleed this clock down and take this snap under 5 minutes on a potential 2-possession game if you can get it in. In this particular situation, I think you got plenty of time and extra downs.
Oh, it's Travers.
And Travers runs it in for the touchdown to the far
Yep.
side. So before the extra point, that is going to make your Mount Juliet Golden Bears 26. Waiting on the extra point. We've had a little issue in the kicking game tonight, so we won't add anything to it until the kick has gone away. I would say we're going for 2. It's already a 2-possession game, but this makes the extra points matter. So the 2-point conversion attempt trips to the near side, sending Morton in motion to the far. Morton's rolling off the rub. Travers throws incomplete. But you still, it's still successful because you made it a 2-possession game now with 4:57 to go. Mount Juliet is up 26-14. The one thing that'll be interesting on this, Denver, so you've got a team on the far side that is running a lot of ball control stuff. Everything's from the Maryland I, from the flanker set. They want to run the ball. Now, yes, you can bust big plays from the running game, but you are now under 5 minutes to go, and you are down by 2 scores. What are you going to do? What's your response? What's your quick time? Are they going to come out and go shotgun? Are they going to come out? That's the thing. Teams that they've not had a real big chunk play. They've not just gone 60 yards on a single play. So they're going to have to get in their not comfortable zone. They're going to have to be uncomfortable a little bit. If you notice, this front line here has tightened up a little bit. Now there's space on the far side because their front man, their coach caught him and backed him away. So Echeverria's got it teed up. Just waiting for him to start his approach. He is in. The kick is away. This one can be returned. Fielded at the 5, straight up to the middle. Tackled about the 26. And that was Lancaster. And Lancaster's been playing quarterback in that Maryland I formation. You don't typically see the quarterback back taking the kick returns.
Waller with the stop for the Golden Bears. First and 10 for the Bison from the 28-yard line.
Curious to see what set they come out in.
Make some noise.
So they will break set. They are now in twins to the near side. Tight end is on the top. Shotgun set. Pulled it, stuck it in, throws a little wheel route. Throws it just a little too far. Like I said, you got to get them into their just a little discomfort. I assure you they've practiced it, but it's still, they had rather be in that I formation and just running the ball. So twins to the near side. There is a tight end on the line on the top. He is eligible. Remember that. That could come into play. Again, stick into the forward's gut. He's going to turn. He's going to throw it back. The ball is up in the air.
And it is picked.
And that ball, folks, is intercepted.
Pass intercepted by
It was Case and Walls.
Case and Walls drops back in coverage on that one. We got a little pressure coming in on the quarterback. He steps off the back foot and just throws it in the air. That's a 50-50 ball that we came down with. See, this is better, Denver. This is better than that. Now you want to take the ball and you want to just go. You want to go score another one and not put it in any doubt. If you don't understand what we're talking about, Denver said he liked the White County finish to it, and I said I would rather it not be so exciting. So wings give right up the middle.
Morton
Again.
Morton with a carry.
And again, clock stops to move the chains, but as soon as the chains are set, the clock starts rolling. That's going to let you bleed more off the clock. You'll take this snap under 4 minutes to go in a 12-point game. No reason to be in a hurry. Protect the ball. It is the most valuable thing out there. The give again to Morton, right up the middle.
First
Makes
down.
a little shake. He's still going, folks.
Wow, you're really right, Coach. It really does take the whole team to bring that man down.
Well, I mean, they stopped him right at the line to gain for the first down, and he hits a little extra gear when he plants that right foot and drives just a little bit farther. So, again, another first down just inside the 20 going in, and it allows more time to come off that clock.
Under 3.5.
We'll take this snap right around the 3-minute mark. And, and this is valuable time, too, because you've got to learn how to handle yourself in these situations. And with a sophomore quarterback, you really want to see how he handles it. Morton escapes one, can't escape the third one. Got through two, but not the third. Did a good job of getting something out of nothing, which brings up a 2nd and 9. But that clock is doing the most important thing it can right now. It's ticking. Substitution. I would expect to see Station Camp come on a blitz here of some sort because they're going to expect the run. And rightfully so. It keeps the clock moving. Harrison in at tailback. The give, he's going to the far side. He's got to use that speed. He's got people behind him, but he's got speed and he's got a lane. He cuts to the outside. He has straightened up.
Unbelievable.
And it is a touchdown, folks.
Wow.
Harrison does a great job there of stretching out the play until he gets to daylight on the edge of the sideline, and he turns and cuts up and hits another gear. That now makes the score 32-14 with the pending extra point coming.
And that was Edwards' second touchdown of the game, Coach.
I think third carry. I think he broke his perfect carry mark there for the night, but 3 carries, 2 touchdowns. So the extra point attempt is good. So the Mount Juliet Golden Bears are up 33-14 over the Station Camp Bison. Now you got to go hurry up. So we talked a moment ago about them being uncomfortable and being in a position where they're going to have to do something they haven't really done all night. Yeah, they're going to have to do that a lot now. The time there's 2:09 to go here in the fourth. It is a 3-score game. They got to go. So this is what DC Chase Howland was waiting for, because it puts them in a position now where they know what Station Camp's got to do. And again, that doesn't mean Station Camp at some point won't just hand it off and try to squeak one out if we're not paying attention, but most likely they're going to have to go vertical and they're going to have to go for big plays. Stranger things have happened. The Tennessee-Florida game came down to a last play, and they were up by 17 with 2 minutes to go. So stranger things have happened. Echeverria has it teed up, starts his approach, and the kick is away. This one will be returned, fielded at the 5. He breaks up to the near side hash. He's going to the middle. Met at about the 27, 28-yard line is where he will be taken down, and they will start what I would think is their final possession.
Yep.
But they do have all 3 timeouts. But what an explosion. What a response from the Golden Bears out of the second half. And it all started with a defensive stop, and then bang, bang, bang. Twins to the far side, single receiver to the near. They've taken the tight end out, slant across the middle. It is complete. He is tackled at about the 43-yard line is where they've spotted the ball. Again, the clock stops while they move the chains.
They're going quick.
He's going over the top. It's a wheel route in and out of his hands, so the clock will stop. It will be 2nd and 10. And now Station Camp can kind of take a breath and see what they want to run, what their look is. And the reason I mentioned the tight end is out, it's important because now they've just got tackles on the line of scrimmage. Twins to the far side, single receiver to the near. Quarterback's going to keep it. He's going up the middle, and it's number 8. It's Dickens again. And again,
First
I said,
down.
Don't be shocked if they don't try some trickeration of a run. Like I said, they've got to go fast. So back to the line they go. Twins to the far side, single receiver to the near. Dickens awaits. He takes the snap. He's going to throw immediately. He throws the stop route to number 6, Salter. Hall. Just kidding. Y'all have 2 listed, so we'll go with Hall on that one. Back to the line they go, and quick. Twins to the far side. Single receiver near. Got a little bit of a false start there. They didn't call it.
Dickens again.
Dickens again. Picks up another first down, but the clock is still moving. We're under a minute. 48 seconds to go. I expected them to take a timeout at some point, but I guess they have not. We have taken a timeout.
Now timeout by us.
Yeah, we had some personnel issues getting on and getting off the field. Better to not take a penalty for 12 men on the field. So, most likely what's happening in our huddle is guys stay true, stay aggressive. What's happening in their huddle is they're trying to practice for next week, get ready. These are situations that you can't prep and practice because you need to see somebody other than your scout team. So, like I said, they've got a chunk play or something that they haven't had the opportunity to run, and here it comes now. So they will come back with twins to the near side, single receiver to the top. Dickens in at quarterback. He overlooks. He takes. White hat signals play. He steps back, throws a great ball up and over the top, and that is a touchdown, folks. Pretty ball. Throws that to Hall. That is a well-thrown ball. So that cuts it to at least a 13-point game for the moment with 32 seconds to go. There will be no extra point attempt as they will line up to go for 2. Again, twins to the near, give to 4 going up the middle, and he is in.
Yep.
So that will make your score with 32 seconds to go. Mount Juliet 33, Station Camp 22. 32 seconds, 3 timeouts. Your hands team and onside kick team had better be ready because here it comes. As I said, stranger things have happened, Denver. There's been a lot of, a couple of weeks ago in the NFL, the Cleveland Browns lost a game because Nick Chubb scored a touchdown for them. It allowed the other team extra time, and they scored, got the onside kick, and scored again. So never say it's over till it's over. And of course, as I mentioned earlier, Florida got an onside kick against Tennessee with 17 seconds to go.
kickoff for the Varsity.
All right, the hands team is on. Here comes the onside kick. It is up, and it is fielded by MJ.
Yep.
We will see real quick here what Station Camp chooses to do with those 3 timeouts. If they take them back to Gallatin with them, or if they decide to burn on every play here. Again, as mentioned earlier, ball security is key. You just don't want to put the ball on the ground or turn it over. We break huddle with single receiver to the near side. We are going into victory formation, so we're going to make Station Camp take those timeouts. Will they take them? They will not. So we will wind the remaining 24 seconds of the clock. Wow. What an answer in the second half by the Golden Bears.
What a game, Coach.
See, these are much better. You like these better when you know you have the game at hand. But what a response. I mean, offense is struggling to move the ball in the first half, and then the second half, the offense blows up, and away we go. They gave us a lot of trouble in their Maryland I set early in the game, and defensively, we come out after halftime after the adjustments, and we stuffed them. So other than that touchdown right there at the end, we played scoreless ball through the second half. So you just hats off to the players and the coaches for making the adjustments and taking the steps that they did. But what a win. I mean, that is again, as we mentioned at the opening part of the broadcast, that's a Station Camp team that beat Gallatin. Mm-hmm. So Gallatin is our one blemish on the season, and they beat them. So that is a big win. Denver, any final thoughts?
Overall, I thought that second half was just our offense stepped it up in the second half. That first half was more of a defensive game, but that second half, our offense really stepped up to the plate and made some big plays down the stretch.
I would agree. And so that sets up a big matchup coming next Thursday here at Roger Perry Field, where this team from down the road, the original Wilson County rivalry, Lebanon, comes to town. It should be a very explosive game. There's always a lot of emotion and things that come into this game because, again, it's the original rivalry. That's not a slide at Green Hill. That's not a slide at Wilson Central. It's just what it is. They were the two schools. So a lot of history for that game when they roll in next Thursday. It'll be a fall break game, but it's also, like I said, a Thursday night game. So your final here at Roger Perry Field, your Mount Juliet Golden Bears 33, Station Camp Bison 22. We will see you next week. Thanks for tuning in, and have a great night.